Butthole town. What goes up and around the corner. Butthole town. Well, we gotta get out of a butthole town.
So if Walmart was to sponsor the time change, would it then be called Walmart Savings Time?
Huh.
You get it? Like, because they always talk about savings.
I wonder what percentage they'll take.
I don't know, maybe like 5. Seems like a good percentage. Anyway, welcome back, everybody, to episode 11 of the Butthole Town podcast.
We've passed...
we're here.
We've passed the 2-digit mark completely now.
We're still in 2 digits.
I know, but we passed like that entry level. It's like 10. Oh, we're here. Are we going to keep going? But we did.
We are keeping going.
And 11. Wow. I remember when I was 11.
It's been a long time. Been a long time coming.
Yeah. I mean, feels good. Feels good to say, I guess. Butthole Town, episode 11.
Lucky number 11.
Yeah. Hopefully I will have a good title for this episode. I always struggle coming up with the titles, so.
If you guys ever have good title ideas once you hear the episodes, let us know.
We'll go back and change it. Retroactively title our podcast. We're just going to upload episode 11 and just like let you name the podcast.
We could do that, I guess. Could we?
Yeah, but nobody would. Well, I don't know. I guess people would listen. But,
name your own podcast.
Yeah, name your own podcast. Maybe we'll do one episode one day like that or something. If we let people like decide the topics we take and the title of the episode.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, we could let them pick a title, and then we have to make a whole podcast around that title,
that's
or at
funny.
least a bit. That would be pretty good.
That would be good.
Yeah,
Well,
that would be pretty cool.
Today's a different podcast, I think.
Today's gonna be a little sad.
Different. Not sad.
Heavy.
I think we're just gonna be a little like more serious than normal.
Yeah, we'll be a little bit heavy, I would say.
So normally we do a bunch of like planned bits, and we do have one bit for the end, but
yeah, just to bring the mood back up a little.
And I know it's kind of weird coming from a podcast called Butthole Town. To hear anything serious. Yeah, but
we're just stalling because we don't know how to intro this.
No, I know how to intro it. I just want to start.
Well, I don't know how to intro it because I'm uncomfortable.
Joel, now you're making it sound like we don't know what we're doing.
We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. Anyway.
So, yeah, we're just going to talk about a few things that we've had on our mind, but we haven't really felt like it was a good time to put in an episode because it was like, we don't want to like be really funny and silly and then like drop the bomb. So, we've decided to just make this episode our serious episode.
Yeah.
So maybe
turn the corner on the double digits, and now we're going to get all serious.
I think every 11 episodes we'll do one serious episode.
Every 10 episodes, you mean?
After the 10th episode. So the 21st episode will be our next serious episode.
No, 22nd. 10 episodes.
11 plus 11, 21.
Yeah, but 10 plus 1.
Okay, just never mind. 10. Okay. Forget about the math. Let's just get into what we're going to talk about. So me and Joel, the other week, I think you had mentioned it to me. We were talking about what were some of the things as kids that we did to our parents that we like completely regret now.
Yeah.
Or like, what did we do that was just like, now we're looking back, we're like, wow, we were kind of jerks. Like, it was not our parents' fault. That was kind of our fault.
Yeah, it's just like, because we're kids, I guess we don't think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, these are our parents. They're basically indestructible. And then you grow up and like, oh, they're just people.
Yeah, like they're just people like us. Like you.
Except
like
we were
me.
younger.
Yeah. And I mean, they're just trying to figure out the whole parent thing. We're just trying to figure out the whole life thing. So it's a bunch of it's a bunch of figuring out.
It's give and take.
Yeah. And I was the second kid, so maybe my parents learned a little bit.
I was the only kid,
yeah,
so
you're the only one, so you're the test trial.
And then the final tests as well.
First and final test. But yeah, if you wanna start, you can go ahead and say something. I don't know.
I'll go with this one because this one, like, I don't know how old I was on this one. I was probably like 5, 6, and you know those markers on TV? They were like the blow markers.
Blow?
Like you
Glow?
you blow into them, and they would it was like airbrush, like looking on the paper.
Oh, yeah. I do remember those. That's some Nickelodeon classic commercial type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really, really, really wanted those.
Oh, geez.
And my parents were divorced as I was a child, and
Right. So give them the story with your parents that people don't know. It's kind of
my parents were divorced when my mom. Well, I don't guess she was pregnant. She had just had me, and they got a divorce because my dad was a drunk. And yeah, so that was pretty much how that happened. They got back together when I was 8, so happy ending.
yeah. It's such
Anyway.
it's such a different ending for most people. It's like they got back
Right.
together. Yeah, crazy. Anyways,
So happy ending. But at the time, anyway, mom was a single mother and didn't have much money because she was homeschooling me and working a part-time job. So I didn't have much money. And I really wanted these markers or whatever. And she went to the store, and I had to describe them to her because we didn't have cable. We just had a VCR player. So I had seen it somewhere else, somebody else's house. So
Yeah.
there's no way she would have known what they were. So I was like telling her, like, you blow in them, like they got these holes in the end of them and stuff. Well, she bought me like highlighters because they have like the holes in the top of them. Like I could see where that could be confusing now. And so they look sort of similar. So she matched the description pretty well. But I was like, I wasn't having it because that wasn't what I wanted.
those
I
aren't the
was just
blow
like,
markers.
Right. It's like, what? And I started crying about it. Like, this isn't what I wanted and all that stuff. And now looking back, it's like, she probably, like, that money was not easy to come by, even though it was like $5 or whatever some highlighters cost.
Yeah,
And,
she thought about you.
right. And she bought them for me thinking that that's what I wanted, and she was going to make me happy. And then I was just not at all. And I can only imagine, like, how much that hurts you as a parent because, you thought you were doing something for your kids that you really wanted them.
Yeah.
Like you really wanted for them, and then it's not that, and it's just like, man, I regret not appreciating highlighters as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, you don't see the whole picture, though. You just saw, hey, these aren't the blow markers. Like,
Right.
like, what the heck is this? And you don't think about, like, the thought that went into it and the struggle that she probably was going through.
Yeah.
To get it,
just, like,
so.
thinking about it now, it's like, man,
Wow,
that was such
yeah.
a jerky thing to,
Yeah.
to say.
We're going to name this segment Kids Are Jerks, and we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back every once in a while.
Oh, gosh.
Talk about how we were jerks as kids. The first one I was going to talk about with me, I wasn't really a kid. I mean, I was a kid, but it wasn't that long ago. I wasn't a little kid. So throughout high school, I never had a job. Right?
Yes, of course.
I never got a job. My parents were always telling me, like, you should get a job, like, during the summer.
job, sonny.
And the thing about my parents, it was always this thing where they would bring it up, or at least I remember Daddy being like, why wouldn't you want your own money type thing? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
why don't you want to? Like, when I was your age, like, I wanted to work. I wanted to have money so I could buy things. And my whole thing was always just like, why? Like, I have everything I want. Like, I don't need money. Like, I mean, like, not that my parents were like uber rich and I had everything I wanted, but you know what I mean? Like, I was
Right.
satisfied. There wasn't anything
Right.
where I was just like, man, I really, really want that and I can't have it ever. Like, eventually I'd probably get it for Christmas or something. You know what I mean? I could wait like a year, but I'd finally get it. But yeah, so I just never was super like motivated by that. And I think maybe in a different, my dad grew up in a different time. So, and his
Yeah.
parents probably weren't as well off as my parents. So it was like he needed his own money so he could go like take his girl out or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also didn't have a girlfriend, so maybe that was part of it.
Well, yeah.
But anyways, my senior year came along, and my parents weren't having it anymore. You know,
You're right.
like it was like, okay, you have to get a job. Like
Which
you
you didn't ever do.
you were finishing out. No, but I did apply for like a bunch of jobs, and it was during the summer, and I was going through the job applications, and like it would be like I would always like make an agenda for myself for the week and during the summer, and it was always like cut my toenails, record guitar. Like it was always like the lamest like stuff that I would list out. Because I was that bored and that like lame. And anyways, it would be like fill out job application of this one job, and they're like, Ben, that takes you all week. Like my dad was just like, what the heck? He's like, so it was like, you were going to go and you were going to get, you're going to go to these places today. Like you're not going to just like try to, I was always trying to fill them out online so I wouldn't have to actually get in my car and go anywhere. Like I can figure it out online. I was the one like telling Diddy, like I was always like, I can make money off online surveys. See, it was always,
and you made like what 2 cents off of that.
Yeah, those are stupid. But anyways, I was like, okay, fine. Like I'll go to the place or whatever. Anyways, he came back home at the end of the day, and I hadn't gone yet, I think. And he came home from work and found me there, and he was like, "What the heck? Like you got to go?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm going." He was like, and he was trying to help me, right? He said he would ride with me because I was going to go to the movie theater and apply and stuff like that. And I got in a big argument with him about it, and he was going to go with me. And I said like, no, just like stay home. Like, I don't want you to go. And I like left, and I was like, I can go by, I was like, I can go by myself. You know what I mean? And I like left, and I got in the car and I cried for like 20 minutes, like more than I've ever cried because I felt it was overwhelming. It wasn't just that like I upset my dad. It was this overwhelming thing of like, you're grown up now. Like there's no more like little kid. Like life has changed at this moment. Like from now on, like there's no more like little kid Ben. Like you have to grow up now. And it was just like it all hit me like one time, plus letting down my dad because like he just wanted to help. And I was such a jerk. And it's like he really just wanted to like go with me and help me get a job, and I didn't want him there. But I did want him there, but being a stubborn idiot, and I felt so bad after that. And I never got any of the jobs, so
so mission failed. We're gonna be good next time.
Really. But I don't know. I just felt so bad about that.
Yeah, well, you always feel bad about arguing with your parents. Like that's never a good feeling at all.
Yeah, nobody ever wins. And I don't know, you realize later that how dumb you were, and it just would have been like, yeah, Dad, come help me, and not be a friggin', I don't know, whiny idiot. At like 17 too, obviously. I wasn't like 14 either, so it's just like, come on, grow up. But I think I did grow up in that one like cry in the car.
And from that moment, everything was changed.
Yeah. I think I've probably cried like 5 or 6 times in my like more adult times. Yeah, and that was one of them. I can just like remember very vividly.
The other one was when you watch Legends of the Fall for the first time,
and the second, and the third, and the fourth time.
Pretty much every time except that one time.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, that's my little story. My antidote.
So my other one is I only have 2. Like I'm sure there's more.
Okay.
I probably just blocked them out of my memory. The other one, this one time me and my dad were working. I don't remember what it was. It was summertime. Mm-hmm. And in the summertime, if you work outside a lot, you get frustrated just because it's so flipping hot.
Right. Easily mad about everything.
Right. And anyway, so we were doing something, and somebody called me. It was somebody's birthday, and they were like, hey, we're going to play paintball. Or no, they came to my house to get some of my stuff, some of my paintball stuff, because they needed to borrow it. And then I was just like, hey, can I go with them to play paintball? Like all of a sudden. And he was like, well, we're doing this and this and this. And I was like, yeah, but I won't ever get to go play at this. It was a particular place that we were going to play. Like, we won't ever get to go play there again. He's like, okay. And he just let me go. And I went and had fun, but then I felt so bad afterwards because I just like left him there and doing whatever it was that he obviously needed my help for.
Yeah.
And I just ditched him to go play paintball. I was just like, man, such a jerk move to do. That's
the conundrum of like my childhood sometimes. Like sometimes. It's a conundrum of my childhood sometimes. No, but it's just like that kind of thing always happens when your friend invites you somewhere, but you were having a fun time with your parent, not necessarily they're working, but like maybe just having a fun time with your parent, and you leave them.
Yeah.
And then you feel so bad. It's like, man, like I left my dad, watching TV, and like we were having a fun time watching that movie or playing that game or whatever, to go like ditch them to hang out with your friends. Even now, like when I go home and it's like, oh, you spend time with your friends, but it's like they really wanted to see you,
Yeah, that's the reason when we go home, if we're home on the same weekends, we wait until like 11 o'clock at night and then go hang out.
Yeah, so you don't feel bad
So
about
they're
it.
already gone to bed, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it always
I
feels
did
bad ditching your parents.
I did something else. I wish I could remember what it is, and I cannot remember for the life of me. But me and Daddy got really heated at each other at one time about something. I can't remember what it was. And I was just like ticked off and just upset, And we were moving hay at the time. So I put on Welcome to My Life by Simple Plan. I put it on in the truck because my iPhone was connected in there because I was driving the truck around. So I knew when he got in, it'd be the first thing he heard.
Oh my gosh, you idiot.
I was such a passive-aggressive little twonk.
So emo little whiny kid. To
I
feel
was probably
hurt,
like-
to be lost.
I know.
He's just like, turn this
He probably
crap
got in and
off.
was like, what is this? I wasn't in the truck when he got back in there. but I
Oh,
was
you
like-
left it for him, a
Yeah, I
trap.
just left it for
oh,
him.
oh gosh, that's so lame.
I wish I could remember what it was because I probably feel bad about whatever I said to him too. But,
I talked to him through Simple Plan.
just
I
look
always
back
talk to
on
my
that and
dad through
cringe
Avril Lavigne.
So hard.
I have one more, so I'll tell my second one. And this one's
Okay.
like only there's only a regret near the end, I guess. Well, isn't that how they all go actually?
It's just a normal day until suddenly
Yeah.
it's not.
Suddenly I regret everything. So this one time one of my friends in high school had a birthday party at his house, and it was just a birthday party, and all of our friends got invited to it. All of our our little high school group of guys.
Yeah.
And like I was relatively close with them at the time because this was before they all kind of got into the party scene, and I didn't ever hang out with them. So we were probably we were probably like 14 or 15 years old. I couldn't drive yet, and so Mama drove me over to their house, and when she pulled up to the house, well, the guys were outside. There was like 3 of them, and they were all outside. And then when the car pulls up, all of them scatter. They all run away and hide when
What?
our car pulls up. And she was like, "What the heck?" And I was kind of I knew they were just being jerks because that's just how my friends were. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They were always making fun of me and stuff. One of the reasons they did that was because I never actually fought back. I just got really mad, and they loved seeing my reaction. So I got out just kind of confused, and so I did get out of the car, but she didn't leave.
Yeah.
And so I was just standing there like what the heck, guys? And then I kind of walked up
what
thinking,
was supposed to do?
yeah. And then I walked up thinking one of them was gonna pop out, but they never did. And then Mama she just blew up super mad. You know how it is. Joel,
Yeah,
you definitely know how it is.
experienced her wrath.
You experienced the wrath. Anyway, she blew up super mad, but didn't get out of the car and just told me to get back in. And I was like, "But Mama," and she was like, "No, get back in the car." And so we get back in the car, and she drives me all the way back home. And
Oh my gosh.
I remember being so mad that she did what the heck? I really want to hang out with my friends. She was like, "Well, if they're gonna be like that, then you want to hang out with them." And was super mad about it. Then eventually, Daddy drove me back. Mama wouldn't do it, so Daddy drove me back to the house, and I had the party. And I just was so mad. But now thinking back, I was just like, wow, those kids were jerks to me in front of her. I would probably do. I don't know if I'd take them, but I would have definitely. I don't know if I would have took myself all the way back home, but I would have definitely chastised the kids for being little jerks. Because
Yeah.
in front of the mom, and it's
Yeah.
a kid dropped off at the house, and you're just gonna leave. What the heck? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was super lame to
think-
do, and I don't know. I regret being mad at her because I would have been mad too.
Yeah. As a parent, that would upset you.
Yeah,
I think pretty much all of it comes back to basically just not appreciating our parents,
like you should.
like not appreciating what they did or their advice or their company or whatever. Like,
yeah.
yeah, just not appreciating our parents like we should have.
And sometimes not even appreciating the way they raised us, and that, I mean,
For the most part, they did pretty well.
yeah, and they raised us in church, and they like made us go to Sunday school.
Well, they didn't make us go to Sunday school. I mean, maybe your parents did.
Yeah,
My
I was pretty
parents
much
didn't make me.
I was pretty much made to go to church, which isn't a bad thing. But I mean, I was just like, it wasn't like it was a make thing, but it also wasn't like that I ever fault it either. I wasn't like,
Yeah,
oh,
well,
okay,
yeah.
like, I'm not going. Like, I never was like that. It was just something
No, I mean,
understood,
I'm
like,
pretty-
you're going.
Yeah, Sunday morning you go to church. That's just what you do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, I've heard of some kids that like told their parents they weren't going, and like the parents let them stay at home and stuff. But I wouldn't have dared say I wasn't going, but like, I don't know. It never was bad enough for me that I didn't want to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because I had an event yesterday at the church. It was a scream-free parenting event, and it really made me like, because my parents did a lot of what they were talking about people needed to do with their kids now.
What is it?
And I was just
Screen
like-
free? What?
Scream, as in like yelling.
Oh, scream free. Okay.
Yeah, and it made me appreciate my parents a lot more because like, wow, they actually did a better job than at the time I would have thought they were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, looking back at it now, I know that they did the best they could do, and that they're just people that was raising a smaller person.
Yeah, I mean, with your best interests at heart, which a lot of
Right.
parents are so like. I mean, the not so good ones are super apathetic about how their kids turn out or what happens to
Yeah.
them during the day, and it's like your parents and my parents wanted the best for us,
Yeah, they cared.
so you got to give it to them,
Right.
because some people have it super bad off with parents being alcoholics or abusive or what have you.
I know the alcoholic part.
Yeah, well, at
Got
least
that-
at
got
least
that
not
down.
at least not anymore.
Yeah.
Things turned around
Eight.
for you.
18 years now. It's been sober.
Woo! Shout out,
Thank
Mike.
the Lord and AA.
Shout out to Sobriety.
Sponsor our podcast.
Sobriety sponsor our podcast. AA sponsor our podcast. But yeah, that brings me back to another topic that I want to talk about is it's just like being in the church and the Christian struggle, the Christian struggles, not the struggle to be a Christian, but
The struggles that come along with being a Christian.
yeah, and some of the things maybe like you don't completely understand, or you just
Yeah.
like you don't get like. I think as I grow up, like my viewpoints like sometimes change, and not in a good way. They just like change because it just happened, and then you like realize that like you think this way now, and it's like why do I think this way now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of the things that always like kind of got me feeling very guilty in church, or not guilty, but it gives me a sense of guilt sometimes when I walk into a church or walk into a Christian conference.
Yes.
And so I was raised Baptist,
Yes.
and you were raised non-denominational, right?
Yeah.
basically.
Basically, full
non-denominational.
gospel, Pentecostal, non-denominational. I went to your church half of the time, so
Yeah.
Baptist too. I was raised a mix of it all.
So
Basically, if it's the truth, it's the truth. That's all I care about.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
in the church I was raised in, like there's not a lot of physical response, and that's in most Baptist churches to worship.
Oh yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not a lot of,
I mean,
like,
you're singing
actual-
hymns. which
Right.
doesn't- Yeah.
And
I mean,
in these
not that hymns aren't good. It just doesn't lend itself to that type of.
Right. That's exactly what I was
Reaction.
going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. These newer churches, like the more modern ones, the music lends itself more to the hands out, the hands up
To
the
a
sky type
physical
moving.
response.
The physical response. It's like to a piano and a person playing it. Like you could, but it's easier with these like really ambient, huge songs. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And so, whenever I go to these churches now that I'm older, I'm not with my parents, I'm in Savannah, and I have to go. Most of the churches around here are bigger, more contemporary churches.
Right.
And and even at these churches and at conferences and stuff, I've always felt this like guilt about not physically responding to worship,
Really?
and it's like, and it's a weird guilt because it's like, man, am I just not? You feel guilty because you feel like you're not connected as much to what's
I get
going on.
that. I definitely get that part of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
even I walk in and these people always have their hands up and they have their hands in the sky, and I want to. It's like I want to do that, but like then if I do that, I'll feel like I'm just doing it for a show
Because everybody else is doing it.
yeah, and I'm not genuinely doing it. Like it's not like an actual response from me connected to
Right.
the Holy Spirit. It's just like it's me doing it to just like
Just
and
to be
yeah,
to
just
fit
to be
in.
doing it. And maybe there's a fake it till you make it element there. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
I think
maybe
it could be.
maybe if you kept doing it, like eventually it would just be a natural response.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
the other thing of it, I think about it is if you want to do it, then I don't think you per se would want to do it because other people are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just because you want to, and the fact that other people are, those aren't one and the same thing. I don't think.
Yeah, and
Like,
I mean,
can think you can have one without the other.
yeah, and there comes a sense of disingenuousness like with it. Not saying that everybody is
Right.
disingenuine doing it. Even my own like girlfriend, she'll even do it, and I would never think that she's doing it for show or for me beside her.
Right.
But there are some people out there that you would have to think that they're doing it to say, "Hey, look at me! Like I'm connected. Like I'm a Christian. Look at me." I'm
Yeah,
not saying that
well-
happens everywhere, but
No,
you know,
but of course there are those
It does
people.
happen.
Yeah, and then the other thing is like if there is a fake it till you make it element like you said,
Right.
then even if they're doing it to try to show that they're connected, it means at least that they want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even if they're not genuine in their intent to begin with, at least it shows they want to be doing the right thing, even if they're
Yeah.
not quite there yet.
I guess it does show your heart a little bit. You're not there. I mean, at least you're not just like on your phone in church or something.
Yeah, exactly. At least you're participating.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
it's a
I get the
strange
thing
thing.
of I get the feeling of it being like disingenuous though, because I've done that before. Like I've faked it before because I
Yeah.
felt intimidated. Like I've done that.
if you're in a room with a bunch of people doing it, it feels bad when you're not the
Yeah,
one doing
you feel
it.
like okay, well,
Is
you
there
know,
something
what's
wrong with me? Yeah, exactly.
exactly. And the other thing too is like I had to come to a realization. Several years ago, I basically came to this conclusion, and I don't remember if I heard it from a pastor or if I just kind of came up with it on my own, you know, conglomeration, whatever. Doesn't matter. But the fact is, I don't go to church for other people,
Right.
and that's especially true in worship. Like when I'm there to worship, I'm there to worship God. I'm not there for whatever the other people there think about me.
Mm.
You know, and so I try when I'm in worship to just
Lose yourself.
to just be like, okay, it doesn't matter who's around me because I probably don't know these people anyway, especially in big churches.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, who cares? Or even if it's a small church where I do know people, it's like, okay, well, they're doing what they're doing to connect to God, and I'm doing what I'm doing to connect to God. So sometimes I may not have my hands up. Every other person may have their hands up. That's fine. Like, if that's how I'm connected to God, if I don't want to be overly expressive, if I just want to take that time and be in that moment and be still and be silent, I think that's fine too.
Yeah.
I don't think we can judge somebody else. Okay, well, you know, this is how they do it. This is how I do it. That's fine. I don't think we can judge them and say, okay, well, they've got their hands raised every single song, every single week. That's probably fake. Well, I don't think we can say that because maybe it's not for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's weird. It's strange because the church is like, it's a place where, you know, fellowship is encouraged, and the point of going is to fellowship with other believers. But then
Right.
there's also this completely like individual experience at the same time.
Right. Well, okay, this is how I look at it. Especially worship is between you and God because
Yes.
that's the only focus at the time. The church as a whole is to come together and strengthen each other in that one purpose in worshiping and serving God.
Yes, and to keep each other accountable. There's all these things that
Right,
go with
exactly.
it. Yeah.
That's the collective part of it. I think the collective thing of it as a whole is being the church, and the individual is the response to God himself.
Yeah.
Like that one-on-one relationship that we have 90% of the time, that doesn't go away when we walk into a church. I think it comes together, and that is what the church is.
Right. And I think even in the Bible, physical responses to things, I mean, they're talked about, like kneeling in front, kneeling to pray, kneeling at Jesus' feet and stuff like that. Like people have a lot of physical responses to things instead of just standing there. And so I completely get that. And I know that like, when the day comes, Jesus comes back, like I'll be on my hands and knees first thing. But there just is, it is hard, I guess, in the way that I was raised, and a lot of other Baptist, people that are raised, where it's just like, you don't have that inclination to be very like emotive with worship, to be honest. It's just that there's not a lot of physical like reaction in Baptist churches to worship, because it's so chill though, to the same extent, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's no rock music in there.
It's just a different experience. I don't think either one is wrong or right.
Like, it's a clap your hands thing. Like that's all you would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wouldn't say that one would be closer necessarily, but I think for some people it helps them to maybe like we were talking about. I think maybe it helps them to focus on God and make it more of an individual experience, and not something where they're focused on everybody else when their eyes are closed and their hands are to the sky, and it becomes a fully like immersive thing. Right.
And the other thing of it too is like with your hands raised and all that stuff, it shows sacrifice.
Submission,
I get the symbolism of it too.
Yeah.
So even if you're doing it because other people are doing it, you're still symbolizing the fact, okay, I'm here with this, and I'm trying to achieve a closer encounter with God, which is the whole point of worship.
Right. And
so I think it's good, even if you feel that it is from other pressure to some degree. I don't think it's a bad thing still to raise your hands. You know what I mean?
And
if you were purely doing it for show, then that would be a problem.
And now that we're talking about it like this, it opens my eyes to say, like, maybe, Ben, the reason you don't do it a lot of times is because I'm so worried about other people. And if it becomes more of an individual thing, then I would just do it out of just like, natural response, because, it's a sign of worship to raise your hands.
Right.
And because I'm so worried about people looking at me or me looking at them, that I'm not
self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
And you're worrying if they think that you're disingenuous by doing it. And it's just like a never-ending cycle.
Endless circle, yeah.
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 I get that part of it for sure.
Opens my eyes a little bit. But it comes back to the genuineness. And I was going to talk about how, and I've noticed this in me lately, and I don't know if you've felt this way.
I'm sure I have. We've been Christians for a long time at this point.
We've been accountability partners to a certain extent. I would say we have been accountability partners. Yeah, because I don't talk about some. I mean, you're really the only person I tell a lot of my struggles to. I would say. I mean, you and Samantha, and maybe my parents.
Samantha now because you're dating or whatever. But
I don't know. It's easier to find somebody like somebody of the same sex a lot of times.
Yeah.
So
it's just a similar struggle.
Yeah, similar struggles.
You relate on a different level.
So, but going back to the genuineness thing, you and I are both kind of immersed in the same online culture that we've kind of like joined. This like
YouTube and
YouTube, the media, the sense of humor, the online like culture we've kind of just indulged ourselves in. Not the people we've necessarily surrounded ourselves with, like in life.
But like, okay, I get what you're saying. Like our own line
like persona
consumption.
Yeah. And the consumption it's this like
absurdist humor type stuff.
Yeah, that too. But what I was gonna say is that it's like this hypercritical, everything's cringy type thing. And we're not the only people in this culture, but like there's a lot of people like young people that are in this like bubble.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've realized now, and it's the videos, it's the comments, it's everything that we've taken in. It's like, it ultimately just like calluses you and hardens your heart to so many things, because everything becomes cringy and like awkward and like, ew. and you become super like critical of everything and saying things are lame, and it's like, man, like they're just like, and it comes down to like Christian things. I've noticed myself not saying it but thinking it when people are like being like, oh baby, like I'll put a hedge of protection around you, you know, those kind of like those kinds of, and they're being genuine, they're genuine Christian people saying things, but it comes off as like, oh, it's too goody and like lame,
too righteous.
Right, and then we become like super critical of it because like, and I think part of it is due to the fact that we're in this super critical like online culture where we're like commenting on everybody else's video all the time and saying how like dumb it is and how it's lame, and you know, cringy is the word that I keep coming back to because it's used so much. Well,
maybe so, but I've always been leery of people like that, like people that are overly, I don't know, I think expressive maybe is the right way to put it. Like people who
they come off as fake, but they're actually genuine.
Yeah,
in the Christian community,
they seem overly zealous. I'll put it that way.
But it's like they're not. You know, it's like that's just their personality. And then later I'll feel bad. I'm like, why was I so judgmental on them when they're literally just like being a nice Christian person,
right? Yeah, I get
telling
that.
me they're gonna pray for me and stuff like that. And it's like when I was like 10 or 11, like I wouldn't have ever thought that.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I was a kid.
That. I think
maybe growing up makes me more like aware of like people that are so like fake, and maybe that's why I'm super critical.
I think age does a lot of that. Not even necessarily what I mean. Obviously, what you consume online or in real life obviously changes your perspective and the way you think. I'm not saying that, but I think just growing up and dealing with people, you see so many people that are like that are fake. Mm-hmm. And then when you come around the real people, like, you know, they're being genuine, but you've seen this so many examples. It's just like, they're just using words. They're not actually, they don't mean this stuff. They're saying it to sound good.
Yeah.
And you know that, but yeah, but when you really know somebody and you still think it, it's just, I think it's just a result of previous experience.
Yeah. And hypocrisy in the church isn't anything new.
No.
And so that's such an old thing. But it's weird because it's like we, you know, with the church, it's a holy place. And then for some reason, we've always thought that the people inside of it are holy when they're just as imperfect as everybody else.
Right.
They just believe that, you know, Jesus died on the cross, but they're still just as messed up.
Right. Well, I mean, they're trying to get there.
They're trying to get there. But I'm just saying that, like, we put them on that pedestal, and so when they do screw up and it becomes, you know, quote unquote hypocritical, we're super judgmental of them for being a hypocrite, when it's just like, you know, we're all hypocrites.
Okay, well, let's take this a little bit of a different angle then.
Okay.
What does it mean to be hypocritical as a Christian?
That is tough.
Because, like...
Is that even possible, really? You know what I mean?
I think the only way it's possible is to say you believe in Jesus and not believe in Jesus. Because otherwise, like, I think it becomes hypocrisy when you're actively faking whatever you're doing. But I think if you have the same problem, so just say it was like you had a drug addiction. That's the easy one to go with. You're faking it the whole time, making it out to be that you don't have a drug addiction. Nobody knows about it or whatever. Then when people find out, then you're a hypocrite. But if you come into that and say, okay, I'm a drug addict, it's not that the sin or the problem changes. It's your heart towards it.
Yeah. Well, hypocritical with that situation would more so be like the person with the drug addict is telling people with drug problems that they're messed up and they need help.
Yeah, that would be even bigger.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what comes down in the church when people like are super judgmental and they're like, hey, you need to fix this because you're involved in you know, whatever, alcoholism or, you know, sex before marriage. And then they're having, you know, sex before marriage or whatever in their own, they're doing the same thing.
They're cheating on their
life.
spouse or something like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, okay, I get the hypocrisy part of it, and obviously that's wrong. Like, the whole point of us coming together is to keep each other accountable, not to put on personas for each other, to act like something we're not. When we come in there, we're supposed to be more open there than we are anywhere else. And I think a lot of it is, even though people are hypocrites to a large degree a lot of the time, just because it's our nature most of the time.
Yeah.
But just because they do whatever they're preaching against doesn't mean that what they're saying is any less valid either.
Right. Yeah,
And
it's the
that
same thing with all these
frustrates me.
pastors getting in trouble with stuff, and it's like they're still I mean, they still believe what they were saying.
Right, and the stuff they said isn't any less true just because
Yeah.
they were messing up during the time.
Right.
And it's the same thing I've seen it like with Christian music. Like when an artist gets in trouble for cheating on their spouse or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
and then every station pulls their music. Well, it's like the song didn't change 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the message didn't change.
Like you just learn new information about the person and not to say that, oh, well, just accept everything they screwed up. No, maybe go back and look at what they said and take it with a grain of a bit more salt.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, truth is truth, no matter who it comes from.
Right.
Like, I don't
And-
think their words become less valid to some degree because you believed it then, so why is it suddenly different now?
Yeah, the hypocrisy that doesn't make sense and is like the guy that preaches against adultery and then he commits adultery, but afterwards he still believes that adultery is wrong. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he doesn't now believe adultery is right. He still knows
Yeah.
it's wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I mean, we're all jacked up people. I think we just should be more open about being jacked up.
yeah, and everybody's jacked up. We got to help each other.
Exactly.
And the last thing I was going to mention, and this is something that it hit me the other day, and I don't know if you're the same way, but we'll see.
Okay.
But when it comes to reading my Bible or going to church or even doing like volunteer work or something like that, I've never been, or I definitely am not now, motivated by guilt. And I know in the church, people motivate people by guilt all the time, and sometimes it's a good thing. But there's just this there's this thing where it's like somebody guilting me or making me feel guilty for not reading the Bible for some reason, to me, makes me almost not want to. And I know that
Yeah.
sounds messed up, but I just like, that's not how I'm motivated. Like that makes me not want to do it. And that's when you
Right.
think like, no wonder people don't want to be Christians if you're like motivating them and making them
By
feel
guilt.
guilty. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, that's, yeah. Yeah, I've thought about that for a long time. I was listening to a radio show. It's a Christian radio show.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about, it's a little bit different, but similar concept. They were talking about if hell was not an equation for Christianity, which obviously it is.
Yeah.
But if there was not a consequence of not believing in God, if you died and didn't go to hell, then would you still have an incentive to believe in Jesus?
Mm.
Which is a super tough question to answer, for one thing, because you can't really.
Yeah. There's no way.
But at the same time, it's like it becomes such a big part of our selling point, quote unquote.
Right. It's like, I
Is-
don't want to go to hell.
Like turn or burn, fly
Yeah.
or fry, whatever, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the people who preach that are very
Preach-
rarely the
Preach
people
fear.
that get
Yeah.
right, and they're very rarely the people that get other people saved. It's usually the people that show people the grace side of God, the love side of God, and the, I know you're messed up, but this is how it gets better side. I think that's ultimately what is more strong
Right.
in persuading somebody to come towards Christ. They see the genuineness of the person. So I think
And
it's similar.
And you can't dodge hell or dodge like the wrath of God type thing. Like that is part of it
Right.
in fearing
Of
God.
course.
And
But
so,
I think-
you can't be a Joel Osteen preacher, but there's a mix. You know what I mean? You can't go straight for the, Disneyland type.
Everything is
preaching.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not. This is real life.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But-
I think it's similar
Yeah.
with the guilt thing, where it's you don't want to like force somebody into reading their Bible or whatever because of guilt. I think it should be because they want to grow with God more. And I think if you persuade them by saying, okay, well, if you read your Bible, you ultimately be closer to God. And if that's something they already want, then the guilt part of it doesn't even need to be talked about, really.
Yeah. It's like so and so went to church has been to church the last 2 weeks, and I ain't seen you there since. Where you been? Type thing. It's like, okay, well now
They
I don't even
probably
want to
needed
go.
it more than me. Then.
Yeah, it's just like people like that. Just it rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
It's a bad representation because it's like, why are you so worried about me? Maybe you should be in church more often.
Yeah, and I like to if you wanted to help me read my Bible more, then just like encourage me to read my Bible
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
encouragement is much stronger than guilt.
more than guilt. Yeah, I
I
think we
think
need
if
to
the-
remember that.
Yeah, I think if you like, this is one of the things I learned yesterday at that Scream Free thing, is when you push somebody, where's the first place they go? And it's away from you.
Away, yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to try to push somebody into doing something. It makes sense to help them into doing something.
Yeah. Can you imagine the picket fence type preachers holding the signs saying like encouraging people? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like,
that
I
would never
realize you're
happen.
going through a struggle, but Jesus loves you anyway.
Jesus loves you. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And it's just like, no, it's always just like, you're going to burn in hell. And it's just
Yeah, I
like,
don't think
and
that's-
everybody else is just like, okay.
Yeah. You're crazy. And keeps walking.
Yeah, it's like, and how many people really do? I mean, I don't know. I've never been like around those people, but I've never seen anybody actually like be converted. Like on this, there was a guy that stood on the corner of our college for so long. I never saw anyone talk to him because he just screamed the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good. See, I think
I don't know.
I don't know.
touchy
Ultimately,
subject, sorta.
like I said, I think encouragement is much stronger than guilt. Like, I just think that's so much of a better way to approach it. Like, from a compassionate side,
Yeah,
understanding people
and
more.
from a person that's never been to church and knows nothing about it. That's their first glimpse into it. You know what I mean? Like that's not
Yeah.
the first step you want to take
Right.
to get somebody
Not
to
at
come
all.
in. And so I think with newcomers it's very important. I think with like people that are more in the church, it's like, well, if you try to guilt them into it, like they're not as affected by it. They're just like they'll kind of shrug it off.
Yeah.
But I think we have to be careful with guilting people that don't know Christ.
Yeah.
And,
Because that's not a. Fear is not a good way to persuade people.
Yeah. It's not how Jesus did it.
No, not at all. He loved people first. And,
Yeah.
you know, I
It's
mean,
like he
obviously
became their friend first, you know?
right. Like he
Yeah.
sat down and ate with the tax collectors. That's the whole point. Like you get to
Right.
people on a personal level and then you can work with them more on a deeper level. But
And
if,
people go straight to the deep and it's like, whoa.
yeah, you can't just yell at people. That doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we made
I
some
feel like
points.
we fixed every problem in the major current world of Christianity. Not really, but
No. But
interesting conversation.
interesting
nonetheless.
conversation, and I enjoyed it.
Stuff we
And I-
need to do.
Yeah, that's the thing with us as Christians, the body of believers. We need to talk to each other about things.
Exactly.
You let it build up inside, and you don't have anybody to talk to, and sometimes it can make you bitter, turn you cold,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not good. So have somebody you can talk to out there, people.
And if you need somebody to talk to, DM us, talk to us. We have an email. We'll talk to you.
Yeah, buttholetown@gmail.com, or you can go to my Instagram, Joel's Instagram.
Or what is our is Saraha?
Oh, Sarah Ha. You can ask
Or
us
whatever.
questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here for you, and I'm sure there's a pastor near you that would love to talk to you as well.
Yep.
So to bring it back to the funny a little bit,
Let's talk about some funny stuff on Fiverr.
yeah, we do that thing, you know. We talk,
Yeah,
we
we do.
we find weird stuff on Fiverr.com. It's a website where people sell their services starting at $5 and
Starting at,
starting at $5, yes. And
unfortunately, not everything is $5.
it gets kind of odd on there.
It gets real strange real quick.
Joel, you told me you found some pretty interesting stuff. I'm
I got
waiting
some
to hear
pretty
it.
good ones this time.
Okay.
I think this is a great way to start it off.
Okay.
I will make someone a living meme.
They'll make you into a living meme.
They will make you into a living meme.
I didn't know you could be made into a living meme. I thought it just happened.
Apparently you can.
Wow.
This is offered by 7 Dank Memes, spelled with a Z.
Of course.
Basic
much?
package, $5. You get 3 Dank Memes.
Of yourself.
100% dank. Well, no, you can do it for anybody.
Oh, okay. So it's not
$10
it's not of me.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it could be if you wanted
Could
it to
be.
be.
Mhm.
$10 you get 7 dank memes, 100% dank, and for 15 you get an entire compilation.
Wow.
It's a lot of memes in compilation. That's the description.
Are those also 100% dang?
Yes.
Okay, good.
this-
I'm glad that all of them are 100% dang. I would think maybe the
Yeah.
percentage would go up, but it stays at 100% no matter how much you pay, and that's respectable.
Yeah, I mean, you can only get so dank before it's
Yeah.
too dank, right?
You can't go past 100% dang. We don't know what happens after that.
It
Too
becomes
dang.
a meta meme.
Oh, a meme inside of itself. Wow.
Yeah.
So I have to send them like a picture of myself.
Yeah, so this is about the gig.
Mm-hmm.
I will edit video memes of your friend, you, as with just the letter U. So I guess it's the same person who does the babysitting services.
Throwback.
You can tell me what meme you want me to make, or I can just surprise you. I make all of these memes original and funny. Not even lying, my dude.
Not even lying. He's not lying.
He says I'm I am a professional memologist, so all memers are 100% approved by the FDA, Federal
Wow.
Dank Association.
You can consume those memes and not get sick. They're pasteurized memes.
The
Wow.
that's pasteurized memes.
Can we name this episode Pasteurized Memes?
I think we can name this episode Pasteurized Memes. The heaviest Christian topics.
Yeah,
and
we don't want to throw it
pasteurized memes.
off. We don't want to throw it off from the actual meaningful topic. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll say some. I'll just give you a short one that I just thought was super weird.
All right.
Okay, I will eat milk
What?
is the title of this Fiverr. I will eat milk.
Okay.
This person's from Canada, of course.
Oh gosh.
About this gig, I'm willing to eat milk. Do if you want to see someone eat milk and snort it out, then let me know. If you want me to snort it out with both nostrils, that's cool too. And that's it.
Does one nostril cost more than 2 nostrils? I mean,
No,
2
it's
nostrils
just a
cost more than
one. It's just one price, so $5. So I guess
That's
you
a
just
lot
let
of-
him. You let him know if you want it both nostrils or just a singular nostril.
That's a lot of customization options for the same price.
Yeah, and he's got to eat it, so it's got to be thick and old.
Ugh.
Right?
Like curdled milk. Then
Yeah,
how's
it's
he gonna get it out of his nose?
That's why you pay him. That's the. But he, what's funny about this is that I'm just realizing he didn't say he would video it,
Oh, that sucks.
so he might just do it and tell you about it.
The worst deal.
He's like, I ate the milk. It came out of my nose. I hope you liked it. Thanks,
I
man.
hope that's only $5.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Just as I asked. Thanks for eating that milk, bud. But yeah, I just thought that was super weird. So
Yeah, that one's pretty strange. I mean, what more can you or what less can you expect from Canada?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is my next one. The guy is from Poland,
Mm-hmm.
and his description, his about is I das. So whatever that means.
What?
And it goes on for,
IDAS?
yeah, DASS, and then it's just like 100 A's and 15 S's. Like literally it just goes off of the page. I'm
So
not
it's
even
like,
sure how
is that Polish or something?
it's either, maybe he's just screaming in Polish.
Yeah. Maybe I have to
Anyway.
look at what that means. Okay, anyways.
I will draw your name on my stomach
All
for
right.
$10 on a 4-day delivery.
4 days?
Well,
It takes him
yeah,
4 days to write my name on his stomach?
Well,
The reverse stuff, he just can't get it down. He'll just keep erasing, starting over. Takes him
it's
4
hard to
days.
do upside down.
Yeah. Baby, will you come in here and write on my stomach? No!
Well, he's doing it in Polish, so it's probably. I mean, how many Polish guys does it take to write on his stomach?
Am I right?
Doo-doo.
Yeah.
So for $5, he will draw the name on his stomach. I will write my name on on stomach the name you send me, I will take a picture with him.
With him?
So I guess his
With
stomach's
him?
not attached to him.
With his stomach? It's a male
a side.
counterpart? Yeah.
I guess so. He has a detached stomach.
Maybe that's just his best friend's nickname. Me and stomach.
Stomach.
I'll write it on
Maybe that
stomach.
means something different in Polish. Maybe that means
Yeah.
like best friend in Polish.
Oh yeah, I write it on my stomach. Why is he talking like that? That's not
What was that? You're
That was
the
a
worst
Lucky
with
Charms.
accents.
That was an Irish Polish. Anyways, my next
for
one.
10, hold on,
Oh.
I gotta
Oh,
finish
sorry,
this one.
sorry. Oh,
It's funny.
more services. Sorry. Excuse me.
For $10, I can speak my belly, and for
Speak?
$15, that's what he said. And for $15, I can sing my belly.
What? He can sing your name?
I guess
His
so.
belly? That has to be his best friend because it's not possible that a stomach could.
I guess he
But
does
now-
that thing where he like draws lips on it and makes it like squeeze it with his hands or something.
Right?
I
Yeah,
don't
he
know,
could do
but
that.
but still, that's
I was sing my belly. I was talk my belly.
the funniest
That's-
part of this whole thing is his picture for this service is a picture of Stonehenge.
Of course, yeah.
'Cause that's
not even.
related.
It's not even in Poland either. It's just like
It's just there.
Stonehenge. Yeah.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. I will have a homeless guy burn off his beard.
Jeez.
Okay, listen to this. Listen to this,
screwed
guys. Listen to this. It's an $80 delivery. Starts at 80. Only 80. $80. Okay, listen.
$80.
But listen to the about. This is going to have a twist. I will
Okay.
get my homeless friend to burn off his beard with a lighter, voluntarily, and film the entire thing. He's a good guy who's hard up for cash. He's not a drug addict. Homeless because of a series of hard events in life and trying to escape an abusive situation.
Jeez.
Yeah,
So you're
and it's
gonna-
like, but my thing was like that, and that's his option for getting out? Burning his face off? It's like, hey man, I know you're having a hard time, but I think it would be really helpful if you just like took this lighter and lit it to your face. It would probably be really helpful. Probably help you get over this hard time and get you out of this abusive
my
situation.
Gosh. Maybe
If
he
only I
just-
could get rid of my beard. Maybe he just doesn't have a razor. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe he doesn't have a razor. He just needs to get rid of the beard and might as well make some money while he's doing it.
Yeah, he's like, he can only do it for $80 though. No less. And
That's
no
such
more
a-
either.
That's such an odd amount.
That's what it will take to get him out of his situation. It's like if I can
$80.
pay $80 get out of this abusive situation. That's bad though, but it's just like maybe he could just like get a job at McDonald's or something. There's gotta be a-
I mean,
Maybe he could be like a janitor at an elementary school. There's got to be a better option
then
Then
burning
lighting-
your beard.
lighting your beard on fire.
Well, it's like, okay, if this guy's such a good friend, he obviously has internet access because he put this
Yeah.
on Fiverr. He has a way to film this and return it. Couldn't he just give his friend $80?
Just loan him $80, dude. He
I
didn't have
know,
to like
like-
burn his beard off.
Sell your camera and give him $80, dude. Buy a cheaper camera.
And he's like, I'm just filming this on my area Alexa or whatever. This like
I'm so-
$13,000 camera. That would be funny if he just had like a legitimate movie camera, but he's just like
He's filming it
this
with like a
homeless guy.
red.
Yeah.
Got a
Ari
whole crew
Alexa
out
is
there.
doing it. Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, that's crazy. I just thought that was so weird, and it's like
That
it
is-
just took a turn for the worst.
That was very dark.
But he-
side
but he-
of Fiverr.
But he put it in the fun and lifestyle gaming category. What? What kind of fun lifestyle do you have? And then he's like, he's also homeless. Like, can't you just take him in? Jeez, man.
That's so messed up on so many levels.
He's just a terrible friend. Unless he is the homeless guy and just wants to make $80.
Maybe he's not even homeless. Maybe he's just trying to play a sympathy card.
Maybe so. He just really wants. He's like, no, there's no way I get $80 for burning my beard off unless I'm homeless and I'm in an abusive situation.
I guess if the dude grew beards really fast,
He could just keep doing it. Yeah.
yeah, just
Maybe.
keep doing it. But at some point, it's got to hurt your skin.
Yeah. It can't be good.
Nah. Okay.
Anyways.
So I've got like, I just mentioned this one in passing just because I thought it was weird. I don't think it's worth like staying on. But this
okay.
one is, I will send you a unique recipe for Spanish potato omelet.
Spanish potato omelet.
Like you can't just Google a recipe.
A recipe, yeah. But it's $5
For a
to
Spanish-
just get it from this guy.
Yeah, and it comes from Israel. It's not even from Spain.
Ew, I wouldn't trust it.
The craziest part of this is 3-day delivery.
Oh, good grief! And then it comes to you, and it's just like a Google screenshot of the recipe.
I'm
Like, it's
sure.
just like, yeah. That's just how long the internet takes over from Israel to get here. 3 days.
Oh, okay. This about the gig. I will send you a unique recipe for Spanish potato omelet made by Chef Juan in his kitchen after a flamenco lesson in Madrid. Very specific recipe, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that one was kind of weird.
Flamenco lesson.
just thought
I
that was
have
kinda weird.
I have one that's like we'll just do in passing too. It's a picture of Zac Efron. Is the
Okay.
picture. I don't know why. But the title of it is I Will News, I Will Give You a Advice. About this gig, hi bro and sis, I will give you a advice. Despite I cannot help myself, but I can help others person. I know this like I'm lying, but just try with me. Thank you.
What?
And then for $15, he has it labeled, I can give you a advice. Just be happy. You just gave me the advice. I don't have to pay you $15. Just be happy. That's the advice.
Clearly, that person doesn't speak English as their
They're
first
from
language.
they're from Morocco, yeah.
It sounds like
His bio is, hello guys, Zaid from Morocco. I have 19 years old. This year I want to gain the maximality that I put up.
what?
I have no clue. I don't think he knows. Sorry, Zaid.
It
But
sounds
he-
like he just went through his phone and keep hitting the middle suggested button
Yeah.
and put
He
it
can't-
on Fiverr.
The funny thing is he can't help himself, but he can help others. Just trust him, okay? Like, he's a screw up. He's burning his homeless friend's beard off, but he can help you, okay?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. You got any more?
I have two more.
Okay, just blow them at me. I don't know what was that.
What?
Just
Okay,
throw them at me, I meant to say. Jeez.
Okay, this one is I will you have been warned.
Oh, no. That seems ominous.
And it's a very, very plain graphic of a tree that looks like it was done by a child and a little blue cloud. And it says, I will put text here all over it. And in the plainest font possible, it says infographics. About this
Infographics.
About this gig, creating infographics, we'll try my best. We'll do some research. Can do video editing too, actually, but would like more experience on Illustrator, so that's why I'm doing this.
So he doesn't know how. He's going to do some research after you pay for it.
Well, he doesn't say what he's going to research.
Oh.
I just will do some research.
I'll do some research. Just pay me and I'll figure it out. The infographics. I think I can do it. I got a book.
And then his order details. Give me the deets and I will help you.
He's like, I don't have any of the programs, but like I'd like to learn. I really like to learn.
I don't know how to do this, clearly, by my poorly made infographic for my advertisement, but, you know, $5, I'm going to suddenly learn.
Yeah, he's like, he just needs somebody to encourage him. Encourage, remember that, guys?
Yeah.
He needs somebody to encourage him to learn.
Okay, that one was just kind of a throwaway one. Do
Yeah.
you have another one, or?
I have two that are pretty good, but I'll just drop one
Okay.
right now. I think
I want to save mine for the last because I think this one is just the concept of this one is pretty good.
So can I just run through two real quick then?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. One, my last two. This is one. I will clean your aura of past partners because we all know you guys have dirty auras. Okay, and they need to be cleaned.
Get your
And then-
dirty aura out of here.
And then the main picture is like a guy and a girl. They're touching each other's chests.
Okay.
Oh,
I know
okay. Let me
We know what
rephrase
kind of
that.
partners they're talking about.
They're like silhouettes of people. Okay, there's not detail. It's just like
Okay,
these rainbow-looking people with like a rainbow coming between them, and they're touching each other's chests just with their palms. And it says, "I will do the cleansing of your aura from past partners." All right, and about this gig. It's going to be kind of lengthy, but I'll kind of shorten it up. For spells removal, please order extra gig. Okay.
Oh, they're
What?
going to get rid of the panacea.
Right, yes. Once the cleanse is completed, you'll find your physical body may feel lighter, headspace clearer, heart healed, and a self-awareness that is priceless. As we move through adulthood from one relationship to the next, the aura of what was left behind is something most people would never think about. The toothbrush, cell phone charger, and feelings, in all caps, your past partner left you with probably top the list of what engulfs your mind after a breakup. They
Yeah,
know
the first
exactly
thing
what. Yeah, the first thing I think about is my toothbrush That girl left me, and all I can think about is my cell phone charger.
Feelings.
And feelings.
I mean,
Man,
feelings make sense, but
When my girl left me, all I could think about was the toothbrush she left and how it just
sits
stayed there. And the cell phone charger she left, and it doesn't fit my phone, so it just stays there. It just sits
stupid
there.
Android.
Oh, and my feelings, I forgot about those.
That's a.
I don't know. It's just so random, like so random. Why? How does the
That's so
cell phone
random.
charger engulf your mind after a breakup? Like, oh, I
How
can
does
think about
toothbrush the
crap.
first thing on that list?
And so all I can think about is her tooth decay, her hygiene. It was terrible. It reminds me every time I go to the bathroom, I can't brush my teeth anymore. I'll let my teeth rot before I find another lover. Yeah.
They can't have my brand.
My brand. You're specialized. What about their energy? Does this leave them with their does this leave with them and their personal belongings? Unfortunately, no. The energy left
darn.
inside you, all caps. Your spirit and aura has now been shifted, all caps. This is true for both male and female. We are built to receive. Therefore, during lovemaking, we also receive more energy.
Okay.
And then it goes into the point saying that during this love that people make, it exchanges frequency. The more you're with this person, the more you absorb this energy. If your partner is in a bad day, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, admiration of love, and so forth, there's an energetic transfer taking place, and you now hold a piece of them. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. They also have
stay away from this stupid fiver.
They also have your cell phone charger. Call them. Get it back. It's $10 to clean your aura. You know, get that thing cleaned. You need to do it. You need to do it every 7 years, like you could do a mattress. Clean your aura, guys.
Just
It's
don't go
easy.
to Mattress Firm.
$15 more, you can protect your chakras. It's $20 more, power up, and $40 more, spell.
Oh, darn. They're going to bring back the panacea.
I really want that power up though, because it doesn't say what it's for, but like it just sounds cool, like a Pokemon type thing. But like she gets good reviews. People give those 5 stars.
Oh,
your
wow.
boys Butthole Town got 4.5, but Clean Your Aura guy gets 5 stars. Doesn't make sense.
It made
Latina,
it sound like you were saying your butthole guy got 5 stars.
okay, not your butthole guy. Jeez,
It sounded like you were saying.
I thought I said Aura guy.
Well, you said butthole to start with, only got 4.5.
Oh, you boys at Butthole. I don't know
Yeah.
what I said. Sorry.
Anyway.
Anyway, somebody said Latina is incredible. She's the best healer on Fiverr. Thank you so much, and you know that. Blessings. May the archangels surround you while you work.
Oh, wow.
And she said back, very respectful and a beautiful light into darkness. Namaste.
Namaste.
Wow.
They just say
She-
that everything to make them sound more legit.
She ends with Namaste on like every review. She's just like,
Of
Namaste.
course.
dude. I wish somebody left like a 1-star and was just like, she screwed me up. She didn't get my phone charger back or my toothbrush.
The toothbrush is still sitting there.
Anyways, I'll move
What's
on to
up with that?
I'll move on to my last one. I think this last one is going to really take the cake. Although Joel says his is going to take the cake, so we'll see. You guys can vote. Actually, I don't know if you can. You can try to vote. You can send it to us, your vote. Who won?
We can put a poll on the
Yeah,
Instagram.
whose Fiverr was the best, Ben or Joel's last one. So here's my last one. All right.
Okay.
We got a $15 premium, a $10 standard, and a $5 basic.
All right.
Title of this one is I Will Send You Over 70 of My Clean Candy Jokes.
What?
Let me explain.
Please do.
Having joined an online candy group, I began creating candy jokes to contribute to it. I kept them clean when creating them. Because the response to them were so good, I now offer them here to you. So here is my collection. Over 70 clean candy jokes. I've included a few free samples here. Thanks. Let me just show you guys some of the
Oh,
samples.
please.
Why did the grizzly finally get dentures? He didn't want to be a gummy bear anymore. What did the Skittle say to the
You got to
Smartie?
tell these well, Ben. You're not doing the
what am
jokes
I-
justice right now.
What am I doing? Oh, do I need to do more pauses?
Yeah, you got to give it some emphasis, man.
Okay. What did the Skittle say to the Smartie? Would you be my sweet tart?
Wow.
Have you heard about the new wind-up candy clock? Wind it up. It goes tick-tack, tick-tack. How can you how can you tell the Pillsbury Doughboy is upset? He's got a chip on his shoulder. That doesn't make sense. Pillsbury they don't make chips. What does that even mean?
That's not even a candy.
What's funny is that $15 premium, you get over 70 clean candy jokes he created, no Twix, and there's good and plenty to snicker about. But the funny thing to me is that I thought about is this guy literally joined a candy group online.
What is that? What is that? Is that like the furries or something?
I think it's like a cult, yeah. But it's just weird because does that mean there are 70 dirty candy jokes out there?
No, it means all the other ones are dirty except for these 70.
So that market's already saturated. He's getting a new demo. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. He's a true revolutionary if you look at it.
Thank you for the clean candy jokes. I was scared that I was going to find some dirty candy jokes on Fiverr, but I'm so thankful that I found over 70. Guys, this is the deal of a lifetime. Are you listening to me? $10 for over 70 jokes? Are you kidding me?
You could
Get out.
You could make a whole career off that.
Yeah, man. You could even... That's not something to Hershey about. No.
What?
I'll leave it to the master, Chris, 827. All right.
It's a pretty sweet deal, I guess you could say.
Oh. That was actually pretty good. Dang it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're welcome. Okay, so mine has to do with comedy as well.
Okay.
Let's just dive into the show. I will do 30-minute phone consultation to help you with your comedy hypnosis career.
So not your legitimate hypnosis career, but your comedy one. The one that's not real.
Right. Your comedy hypnosis career. Out of all the very specific career advice categories, this one.
Comedy.
$5. So that's good. No upper ones. $5
That's not too
for
bad.
30
Yeah,
minutes.
$5. I'll do that. Yeah.
His average response time is 4 hours.
Good.
His most recent delivery was 11 days ago.
Wow.
He has 179 5-star reviews on this.
Whoa. Dang. So like
Where
people are
in the world?
where are these comedy hypnosis shows at? I've never seen
I
one in my
know.
life. Unless I thought it was just a regular one and it was actually a comedy.
Maybe it's all a parody. It's derivative.
It's all comedy. Wow.
That's
That's
really
crazy.
impressive. The other thing was about this gig. I will schedule a 30-minute telephone consultation and provide you with ideas and resources for improving your comedy stage hypnosis career. I can advise you on marketing, mailings, training resources, creating shows, developing skits, business setup, and more. His advice can help you move quickly forward in this exciting career choice.
Wow.
Sounds really legitimate.
Yeah,
You
it
know how
sounds
long
like
it takes? 10 days.
for him to send you the
10-day delivery. He's just going to call you
What?
for 30 minutes. 10-day delivery.
Dadgum, dude. I guess he's that busy doing his own comedy hypnosis shows that he doesn't have time to call you.
I don't know.
Or maybe he just doesn't want it. He doesn't want it to be like it's within the 10 days. So he just wants it to be a surprise. He wants it to catch you off guard and just drop some comedy hypnosis bombs. He's like, dude, like I'm using the bathroom right now. Can you wait? He's like, 30 minutes started.
Your timer starts now.
He's like, okay, well, just go ahead. I don't have anything to write with. So just, if you could just talk slowly. And then he
he's
just
like, you are now getting very sleepy.
he just hypnotizes him. He calls him, hypnotizes him, and it's just like they wake up like, what? And he's like, they're like, now I get it. Now I understand comedy hypnosis.
That would be.
But
Pretty funny.
what's the comedy part of the hypnosis? Does he say?
I
or-
don't know. It's just
Just
a
the
very
fact-
specific career choice of comedy hypnosis.
I guess you tell a few jokes, like I feel like I've seen kind of a comedy hypnosis show. Like they make they make the people do stupid stuff.
Maybe that's what he's talking about. I would guess. I don't
I don't know. I don't know if it was just like, what about airplane food? Now get up here, type thing. I don't think they're like actually telling jokes and then hypnotizing people. It's probably just
Yeah,
making fun of people that are hypnotized, like making them like slap each other in the face and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess that would be this.
But all that stuff's fake. So
yeah. The reviews are. I'm just gonna read these. These are like the top two.
okay.
The first one says, I just can't say enough good things about Mont. That's the guy's name.
Oh, classic
Mont.
Mont. Yeah.
To say he over delivers is an understatement. He's a wonderful, honest, genuine, and generous man with lots of wisdom and experience. A true blessing to talk with and get to know.
For a 30-minute phone call, that's what they got out of it? Wow,
Hey,
he
man.
really does. He hypnotizes those people.
He's got to. He's brainwashing these people into
All
all
those
these
people are
5-star
hypnotized.
reviews.
I bet what he did is called him on the phone, dropped 70 clean candy jokes, and hung up.
He probably
like,
fixed
"Hey."
him an omelet during that time somewhere.
They're like, hey, can you just like tell us about the hypnotize? He's like, oh, I got 20 more jokes. Okay.
Give me
shut up.
5 minutes.
Just give me some time.
You don't want to make me tell a dirty candy joke right now. Throw off my aura. It's gonna need cleaning again.
Yeah, I'll make you burn your beard off from here.
First step
Maybe-
of being a
that would be a-
successful comedy hypnosis career: burn your beard.
That would be pretty funny if like hypnotized somebody on stage and made them burn their beard off with a lighter voluntarily.
You didn't pay them $80.
No, he's just like, what
Terrible
happened? He's
deal.
like, gotcha. He just
Got him.
hypnotized. Yeah, but really, he probably just hypnotized all those people. He knows how to hypnotize.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can hypnotize over the phone though.
I don't know how it works.
I think it's a
The
visual
other
thing.
review was outstanding experience, and then the seller's feedback was we had a questions that made it easier to answer his specific needs.
Yeah, I bet
This
the
dude's
questions were
clearly
just like,
American.
the questions were probably just like, what? How do you mix comedy with hypnosis?
And then he just says comedy hypnosis. Dang, it's all so clear now.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I think I'm getting it. Yeah. Now, it's just like, yeah, I think I understand. Comedy, hypnosis,
Hypnosis.
they go together like a white wine and fish.
What?
That's all, folks. Joel, lead him
Anyway.
out of the episode.
Anyway, with that comment, welcome back everybody to episode 11, the deep episode. A very
Serious.
special episode. That's what we should call this.
A very special episode.
A very special episode. Anyway,
Yes.
people, it's over.
Don't forget to wipe. Don't forget to not do drugs. And don't forget to eat milk, snort it out of both nostrils, and charge $5 for it. You know,
And
don't do it for
appreciate your
free.
parents.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate your parents. And legitimately, though, seriously, from your two friends, Ben and Joel, from Butthole Town, we say, talk with somebody. You know, have a conversation. Talk with your friend. Hi, Joel. Let's talk a little bit.